I think we also need to be really careful about using AI on autopilot.
Right.
I don't know if you heard this. There was this case, it just blew my mind. There was an attorney in New York. He's suing these airline for personal injuries that, one of his clients got injured. He's going to sue this airline, right? So he has one of his assistants, actually not an assistant, one of his partners at the law firm who has 30 years of experience. This is not like a newbie. This is a seasoned attorney. And he's doing research and he's using ChatGPT to do research. So ChatGPT is giving him all this case law because they want to set precedent. This is why you should pay us because this is what's happened in the past. Right. So ChatGPT is writing out all these cases and he goes to ChatGPT and he says, hey, is this real? Were these legit cases? And ChatGPT is like, yes, we referenced LexisNexis. We referenced Westlaw. These are legit. So he's like, okay, good enough for me.
Right.
Go to court, present it to the judge, and the judge is like, this is all bogus. They cited 6 fake cases, fake precedent, fake quotes. It was all fake. And so
why did ChatGPT misled him or lied to him, or what did
it told him that these are real cases. I mean, maybe real in its own mind, but these cases did not happen. 6 cases.
Instead of verifying it, like he should have gone and said, okay, well, let me look the case up just to make sure.
Yeah, you should have sent it to one of his legal assistants to actually go back and validate and verify the findings, but they didn't.
Man, how bad did he look?
Not good. But I mean, I think it's a good lesson for us. It's a good lesson for us, if we're using these tools, we got to do our due diligence, especially before we present it in front of a judge in court.
Right.
You're speaking of judges in court, we're talking a little bit about audio being fake audio. I don't think you're going to be able to use audio in court anymore. Right. Because how easily can I manipulate your voice into saying something you didn't say, present it in court and say, hey, like we'll take Trump, for example, right? You may have heard of the guy. He's under indictments in like 100 different places and 100 different, who knows? By the time this goes live, he might be indicted in every country in the world for God knows what.
He might have beat them all too.
He might have. But there's this one recording of him talking about classified documents and whatnot. I would not be surprised if he goes in front of the court and he said, I never said that. I didn't say it. Right. This is AI generated.
Right.
Who's going to tell him it's not?
Right. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Hilarious. Remember we interviewed Andrew Bustamante, and he was talking about how like when 10 years ago, they had an AI system at the CIA where you could talk to it and ask it questions and it would look things up. And I was going to say, what if I can imagine that CIA already has, something where they'll create an entire wire. It seems like it's a wire, or like they were, recording a phone call, but really it's all AI generated.
Sure.
And then you can turn. Oh wow, that's spooky.
Or maybe the context. Maybe it's like 95% you actually said it, but they just put in like 1 or 2 words that make it almost indistinguishable. Yeah, how are you going to remember?
Yeah.
I was watching Game of Thrones. And there's like Littlefinger, one of the characters, like said something in the first season. He says like chaos is a ladder, right? And then in like season 6, one of the like Brandon Stark, the spoiler here, Brandon Stark, who turns into like he can see everything everywhere all the time. He says to him in a quote, chaos is a ladder, like calling him out like, I know what you said. And Littlefinger's like, oh, you got me. I don't remember what I said yesterday, let alone 6 seasons ago.
Right.
So how would you say, like, I never said that? It's going to come down to everyone saying, I didn't say that or I did say that. How are you going to know what's real?
Dude, the system's so fucked up already. Yeah.
There's no way that you're going to be able to validate what's real or what's not. There's just no way. And so what it's going to end up coming down to is like whatever you think is real is going to be real. Whatever you don't think is real will be real. I'll give you another example. This just happened a few days ago. Israel and Palestine.
I was going to say, isn't that already the way it is? Like people put stuff out there, and if you say it long enough and loud enough, then people will think that that's the truth.
Sure. But at least you can say, well, here's the video. Right. Here's the photo.
Well, now they can say, and here's the video, and here's the audio. And it's all fake. But if you put it out there long enough, there's so many things that are like that. It's like the history is written by the victors, right. What really happened and what the history books happen and what goes down, in history doesn't necessarily mean that's what happened.
But I hate.
You were saying the Palestine thing.
Well, yeah, because gaslighting is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Say, don't believe your lying eyes because, but I can see the video. I know that didn't happen. That did happen.
Right.
But now I can't believe my lying eyes, so to speak, Like, so in Israel and Palestine, Ben Shapiro released this photo, a horrible photo of this burnt child, right? Burnt child. It was released by the Israeli government. He posted it. It's gotten hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views.
Right.
And then this other journalist, I want to say Michael Jackson, but I know it's not Michael Jackson. Anyway, this other journalist comes out and says, holy crap.
That photo 40 years ago.
Well, he says this is AI generated. He used this program called AIorNot.com, which essentially what you do is you upload photos and it tells you whether it's AI generated or not.
Okay.
And he says, holy crap, I uploaded it and it's not real. Well, it turns out that AIorNot.com is not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So it still leads to the question of, so you've got half of the population saying it is real. It actually happened. This is a real photo. And then half the population is saying it's not.
Right.
How is there any way to know? There's any way to know. And you might say, oh, well, they'll figure it out. But we've got, how long is that going to take?
Well, you figure out by finding out who actually took the photograph too. Like, who was the photographer? What was the source? Where did it come from? Was it just something that Ben Shapiro found online and, screenshotted it and said, hey, this is what this is, or, this is what the caption said, so I'm going with it because it was on Google, or did he actually get it from the photographer that was, whatever, in Israel and took the photograph?
Right.
So, you have to figure out how to verify those things.
Well, and it's really hard too, because like one media outlet, I don't know, let's say the New York Times posts something and then 10 other news outlets run with that and then they post it and then 100 more.
That's true.
And the New York Times, maybe they make a redaction in a week. They say, yeah, you know what? Turns out that was AI generated. Are all of those hundreds, if not thousands of people that have news sites that have cited that going to go back and say, and redact?
They don't do that they don't do that when they've actually really majorly made a mistake. It'll be on page 5. It'll be a little tiny blurb. Oh, by the way, last month we said this and that wasn't true.
Right.
So if they don't want to do it when it's them specifically saying something that's incorrect, they're certainly not going to say it if they borrowed it or found it from another news organization. They're not going to take responsibility. Nobody wants to take responsibility anymore.
Look, how much work does it take? I mean, quite frankly, a day later, it's old news. Nobody cares anymore because it's on to the next thing.
Well, I think by taking responsibility, you gain credibility. By ignoring, by saying things and then just ignoring it, you lose credibility by not saying, hey, I messed up. This was a mistake. This is what I did. That was wrong. Here's how it happened. You could explain, here's how it happened. And when I was wrong by going to that source, I should have double checked it. I should have vetted it myself. I didn't. That was a mistake. Like, you gain credibility because then from now on, when you say something, people think, look, either it's probably true. And if it's not true, they'll definitely tell me it's not true because they take pride in that. But now what they do is they just ignore it.
Yeah.
You say nothing. You just move forward with the news and you think, well, they'll forget about it. And the problem is now you do forget about it. Within 2 weeks, like you said, nobody remembers.
Yeah. It's a real problem. But we're definitely running into this phase of humanity where, I mean, I think this has always been true that your credibility is important, but now I think more so than ever. Thanks for watching Mark Savant Media. Here we're going to help you create better content in less time and turn that attention into income. If you love this video, you're going to love these videos here. Click the one. Me and my team specially selected this just for you. Click the link. Check out the video. I'll catch you here next time on Mark Savant Media. Peace.